All right, guys, we're going to talk about the Keto Carnivore Challenge now. Okay, we're live. Oh, I'm learning how to do. I completely flubbed my words in the beginning of this, so people on the replay are gonna laugh their heads off. I also, the Greek guy didn't tell me we're live, so now we're live. Okay, guys, what's going on? I can't see the text. We gotta blow it up real big, and so we're still getting this whole live stream, and got my tech guy there, Greek guy.
Going too big?
No. Not going big. But as you guys are coming into the chat, I did a live stream earlier because I wasn't sure if I was actually going to make it to the studio today. As you can see with this lovely background. But I made it. And this is the day, a little bigger. Yeah, that's good. This is again, with the words. This is the day that I want to announce that I'm doing a Keto Carnivore Challenge on my Keto Course group. So at first, this was just for course members, and I thought, well, it's kind of smart to have anybody sign up for it. I did a keto challenge 3 years ago. It was a 30-day challenge. This is a 2-week challenge, and people can sign up. It's only $15 instead of the $30. It's 15 days, but you're actually getting 30 days of content because it's going for the whole month. Well, not the challenge, but you'll be on the page for the whole month. And then you can decide if you want to continue being on the course page or be done after the first month. So you would cancel your subscription before the month ends and just do a $15 challenge for the entire month. All right, guys, so that's that. This is Ask Me Anything. So, yeah, and to sign up for that, the text isn't moving anywhere, so you want to look at the text. Go to, maybe it's too big, go to stephanieperson.com. There you can sign up. When you go to stephanieperson.com to sign up for the Carnivore Challenge, yeah, nothing's moving, what you would do is actually click on the link or a, on the homepage, it's called like a link, hyperlink.
Yes.
It's working now? Okay, cool. I see you guys. Beautiful background. Thank you. Yes, Dulce, Carnivore Challenge. And you would sign up on the site. You'd go to stephanieperson.com, and then you would click on the keto course, and then I would let you on the page to start the challenge the 25th of September, which is in 2 days. So I know it's last minute, but I've been working on the challenge for like a month. But then the idea to bring in the general public has come in now. Now this challenge is not going to be a standard challenge. I want people to really do this the right way. I will be providing content and you will be providing me answers, right? So I might have you guys, let's say, some of the things that you need to get is a glucometer. These are again, the third time. These are bonus points if you have a glucometer, if you have blue blockers, things of this nature. To like, oh yeah, Deborah's saying to like up the chat, collapse the window, hit the thumbs up, then reopen the chat window, because a lot of people forget that actually liking and also it'd be really good, the good guy, to see how many people are in the chat, because I can't see anything. Yep, I only see the comments. I don't see how many people are in the chat or anything. He's like, oh, ew, ew. Yeah, so the purpose, a lot of people don't understand. I kind of talked about this on my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic. People don't understand, why would you go from autoimmune disease? Keto is good for autoimmune disease. Exactly. But carnivore isn't a diet. And you know what I love about keto carnivore is that people speak less about weight loss and more about getting the junked up, fracked up body fixed. Finally, I do both. You know, you guys know that I am the keto queen. I've been doing keto omnivore for years, just started doing carnivore last year, and I thought it would be really great to teach people how to get their macros down, how to look for, which people don't talk about with carnivore in general, that you can actually have meat and meat fat sensitivities. Just because you're eating animal products, I don't like to say that word, but animal parts, just because you're eating like the meat or the fat does not mean that you would not have a autoimmune reaction due to previous damage to the gut wall. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Keto carnivore, so Dragonfly 99 Blue, fibroids can be great for keto omnivore and carnivore. It's just that carnivore is kind of like the next level of making sure that you're safe. But like I just explained, if you guys don't get your macros right, if you don't get your sleep, connect to circadian rhythm, you can very easily damage yourself, and fibroids aren't going to go anywhere. What I do suggest for fibroids, why people with fibroids, which are typically benign tumors that grow in the uterus right here, they can grow that, you guys, they can grow that big, or they can be very small. Apparently 40% of all women have fibroids, but they're so small that most women don't even notice them. But when they start growing and pushing on your uterine wall, it's a problem. So a lot of women are asking, how do you shrink them? Now, I know that there's other therapies. Some people use herbs, some people use castor oil rubbing packs, but keto can shrink them, but it's not a guarantee. So that's the same thing with cancer. It's everything to do with your lifestyle and understanding the whole body and whatnot. Now, Jean asks, okay, then you are for all, do you do, well, thank you for all you, there's a K missing on that. Thank you for all you do, type 2, trying to get glucose under 90 to 110, proving to be hard. Any tips? Okay, so that's a great question. Love that this is, hey Carol, by the way. So people, this is very important about this is the fifth time. Keto is very important for people who have either insulin resistance, physiological insulin resistance rebound from cutting out the carbs, type 2 and type 1 diabetes. So typically, okay, so Jean Hamilton, what you need to do is you need to test, not only fasted in the morning and know your A1C or know your insulin, but also try to randomly test throughout the day. 2 hours after a meal or 20 minutes after a workout or anything exhaustive, just to understand the algorithms of what your blood sugar looks like under different circumstances. If it's just your fasted number, it could potentially be the early morning dawns effect or phenomenon where people's cortisol is starting to spike as they wake up. They test high blood sugar. So cortisol does innately, biologically, it's going to raise your blood sugar by a process of gluconeogenesis to get you going. Now remember, when you're in ketosis, you still use glucose, right? Because you're not going to have a glucose of 0, but we want our glucose in a range. Okay, more questions. Can you please comment on menstrual irregularities on keto, especially in regards to being off the pill and missing cycles? Thank you. Okay, so I will get that at least after I finish this whole physiological insulin resistance, or else the replay people are going to have a freaking heart attack. Now, with that said, the blood sugar can spike when you, let's say, have your adrenals that's in the body, under the rib cage in the body, are overburdened from a life of too much stress or poor sleep or whatever, not eating in a timely manner, dysregulated blood sugar. And so if the adrenals aren't functioning like da, 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 and then you do keto, it can destabilize your blood sugar even more. So that is the reason why when you do anything keto omnivore or carnivore, it's very important that you get your stress down, that you try to go to bed earlier, that you connect to circadian rhythm, try to use blue blockers, all these things to try not to argue with your spouse or your kids, try to be chill, don't work out at night, try to not be on, no laptop or iPad or freaking phone in your bed, because that light is going right through your eyelids, affecting the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal function, which is messing with your blood sugar. So, yes. And Deborah says to subscribe to her Facebook course page where the challenge, the Keto Carnivore Challenge is going on. Go to stephanieperson.com, and she wrote it in caps. All right. So now, let's see. We got Lisa says, can you please comment on menstrual irregularities, especially in regards to being off the pill? Now, I don't know how long you've been off the pill, so can you give me a little bit more context? Remember, you guys, the more unclear the question is, it's impossible. I don't care if I've got quadruple PhDs and I've been a medical doctor for 80 years. If you don't get more context, it's kind of hard to answer. But I can say what I know about irregularities on the pill, off the pill, no matter what. You don't work out, but you walk a lot. Okay, so that's very interesting. And later we'll get the iPad set up so I can scroll back through the comments, because I can't. Greek guy?
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so when somebody asked an old question, I can't remember what it was.
Oh.
No, I don't use MCT oil anymore because it doesn't produce ketones. It doesn't put you into ketosis. It's super expensive, and it gives people liquid poop. Hershey squirts, like melted chocolate. So get rid of the MCT oil. It's completely processed nonsense. Now, women, okay, this is also for the adrenal system and the thyroid system, the hormonal system. It's all connected, you guys. A lot of women who start to have either their menstrual cycle becomes longer days apart, but I just need to be able to do it myself. Otherwise, new comments coming in, I'll miss.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe like just the iPad, maybe.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I can give you the iPad.
Okay.
But for now, yeah.
For now, no.
For now, no.
Okay. You're on keto for 3 months. Okay, cool. Jean, thank you. Started May 1st. Super results. So far, eating more fat because of me. Thank you, Jean. That's awesome. Eat fat throughout the day, especially if your blood sugar is really dysregulated. So, like what Jean is saying, and the woman was asking about the menstrual cycle, you guys, eating carbs, and I've said this in many live streams, so if I sound redundant, excuse me. But our blood sugar is like this. Every day. We eat carbs, goes up, slams down, goes up, slams down, blah, blah, blah. Our whole lives. My whole life, 40 years. And now your regulatory systems don't know how to balance anymore. Your body tends to go more in that gluconeogenic cortisol, breakdown, amino acids, blood sugar spikes, then blood sugar drops. And glucagon is a hormone that's supposed to bring you back up into the middle, and it's not working very well. So the relationship between insulin and glucagon gets really, really, really bad. And thank you, that was perfect. Fabulous. So as you guys can see now, I can, scroll back on things that I've missed, which is perfect. This is great. Okay, so some of the things that people do that are dumb are, okay. Some of the things that, did I say dumb? Some of the things that people do that are not very wise is they will continue to skip meals, right? They'll get into this very hyped, nonsensical ridiculousness of intermittent fasting and 1 meal a day in the hopes of they say, oh, I'm trying to reach autophagy, but we really know it's the underlying obsession is weight loss. And so if you have dysregulated blood sugar or insulin glucagon relationship, what ends up happening is when you fast, right? You're fasting, you're not in ketosis, your insulin drops, sure, for the short term. Blood sugar drops, you're like, oh my God, my ketones are up, I'm in ketosis. But then you start going into measuring your glucose throughout the day and taking more measurements of your fasted ketones, and then you'll notice this. And you're like, oh, didn't I just come from this? So when women are having stress, we know that PMS, like the symptoms of PMS for every woman get intensified when they're stressed out. Pain or emotional or bloatedness when you don't sleep or when you eat the wrong food. The menstrual cycle is like this. See that thing right there? It's like a, tumble dry thing. And the whole, the rest of your body, especially your blood sugar, is affected by your menstrual cycle in general, regardless of how healthy you are. So if you have this dysregulated system and then you go on keto and then you're not adapting and then you're buying into the fasting and the coffee, then women start to notice that, oh, my cycle didn't start on the 28th or 27th or on the 29th day. It started on the 35th day or the 40th day. Or the menstrual cycle will go, or the menstrual cycle you'll start bleeding heavy. So typically this is to underlying issues you already had, and by the wrong application of a ketogenic protocol, your hormones connected to this and connected to this go haywire. So that's the simplified term, that when that medulla and the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis is communicating with the adrenals, and the adrenals are so connected to the reproductive hormones, then that's what happens. And Deborah's reminding you guys, I have consultations, so I forget. I'm like, she's writing it and I'm remembering it. Go to stephanieperson.com. I have an open calendar. People were asking, oh my God, you're full booked. And then I open it and they don't know it's open. So now she's reminding everybody that you can book a consultation. And she's saying that I customize plans and then I customize your whole life. Like, homie, don't play that, right? We're doing everything from reevaluating your entire day, from the second your eye goes think, or goes back, or you have hot flashes, or your back hurts, or you're peeing all the time, to the time that you're lying in bed and checking your phone or checking your blood sugar, and then getting up and then doing your day, how to do it around your work schedule, children, or school, or whatever, or injuries. So, hey, can you say quickly what you ate today, if it differs a great day to day? Yeah, I'm going to check this out because I know I'm missing more comments. See, what is your goal to keto omnivore snack between meals? Basically, y'all, when you're adapted, or when you're eating a lot of fat, even if you're not adapted, it takes a lot to digest fat. You need a gallbladder, you need caloric acids, lipase, you need all these enzymes to break down the fat. The whole time the body is processing the fat, you're not signaling, I'm hungry again. Carbs do that because processed carbs are already, in your mouth. The cracker's already turning to liquid. It's already turning to sugar in your mouth. But a hunk of fat and some meat, it takes a long time. So that's what delays the hunger signal. So you don't really need to snack unless you have a blood sugar dysregulation. Then I suggest to eat fat every 3 hours. And let's not complicate it. People want to get into the food porn thing, but all you really need to do is go and slice of butter or tallow straight in the mouth, or you guys can make freaking fat bombs out of it, which whatever. Or you guys can take a meat broth, because if you're sensitive to glutamate in the marrow, or the bone broth, or fatty tea. If you're doing omnivore, if you're doing carnivore keto, then you would just do a meat broth. Put a bunch of fat in a thermos like this. Go to your day, like 4 or 6 tablespoons of fat, sip on it in between meals, and that would be your snack. I mean, there's other things. Y'all can use bacon, or not bacon, but pork belly fries, which is pork belly is mostly fat. If you guys are on a road trip, then doing your own kind of like keto staff approved jerky, or you guys can I tell people who are sensitive to butter, just take tallow, throw it in a saucepan. If it's carnivore, add some salt to it. It'll change the consistency of the tallow, because tallow is kind of thick. And pour it back in a mason jar. Have the jar. Put the the spoon in it. Today I'm really off. I think it's because I'm doing too much. Let me see if I missed any more, and I'll go back to the questions. Do you still, okay, YouTube is going to monitor, wait. Is YouTube going to start monitoring exercise channels? Oh, like Instagram? Probably. But I got nothing to worry about, because I don't have affiliate programs and sponsorships and all the things that that people miss out on money. Like you guys, I forget to monetize my channel. to be honest. Like people they're like, you're so stupid, you could be making so much money. So those are the people that would be affected when the actual money you make from sponsorships, affiliate programs, or the clicks or the views. Yeah, then it's gonna mess them up. Don't mess me up at all. Let me see. I think you started my first super results so far, eating more fat. Okay, I read that. I've lost 32 pounds on keto, started checking my glucose, and it will not go below 92. Did I answer that? So the reason why your blood sugar is not going down is probably maybe because you're not eating enough fat, or because you're not sleeping well and dysregulated blood. This is like the 7th time now. Dysregulated, because I'm hyper and excited. Dysregulated blood sugar in the night, where you become hypoglycemic, will make your blood sugar the next day really wonky. If you're eating too much protein, if you're stressing out, if you're like this because there's traffic, there's a lot of reasons. If you've got blood sugar dysregulation before, if you're not eating fat throughout the day because you have a tendency to be hypoglycemic, then your blood sugar will start popping up. You know, stress, not breathing, poor posture. There's a million things. So I need to know. That's the 10th time. Am I counting every time I flub my words? Okay, here we go. What I ate today, that was that question. And then we're back at being caught up. Okay, so today I got up and I think I showed you guys the last time, I had pork belly. So delicious. A lot of you guys, oh no, I didn't show YouTube how to make pork belly. Now there's a really great way that I make my pork belly. I love it. My way, which is I'll use a glass container, and I will fill it halfway with water. And since I'm doing carnivore now, I'll put just salt in the water. If you're doing omnivore, you can add herbs and spices and garlic and Italian herbs and oregano and thyme, and mix it around maybe a little bit of the nutritional yeast and some Celtic or gray salt, whatever, Himalayan salt in that water, and then put the pork belly in the water and then put it in the oven, and you would slow cook it for like 200 degrees for possibly, depends on how your oven is, around an hour or a little bit less. And the meat of it is so soft, and then the outside, the top that's not covered in water is crispy and it's delicious. Now, if you're doing carnivore, you just use salt in the water, which is what I'm doing. And it's like, So I had pork belly. I also made fresh liver. And I think I spoke about that yesterday, but on my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic. And I talked about it on my Facebook. Yes, but not on YouTube. And so I had liver. I had the pork belly. And see, I don't have to sit and go, I had to make all this food, because carnivore is so easy. And butter. So I had that, and then before I hit the gym, I always do 2 full heaping tablespoons of butter, because I eat around 6 o'clock in the morning. And so by the time I hit the gym, I'm like semi-fasted. The food has been dumped out of my gullet, and then I'll add some fat, just, and get a little gray salt, little Celtic salt on that, because I do a saltless butter. A lot of people don't understand why I do saltless butter, and it's because the salted butter tastes nasty. It feels like I'm just licking a salt rock. It's too much. I mean, you could freaking give that to a horse. So I just add my own little bit of salt on it. Okay, and then when I get home, I'm going to finish eating those 2 meats. So with your rotation schedule, I could eat that for the next 3 days and rotate to, I got some ribeye ready to go. I've got some New Zealand lamb. So I will often just rotate between the meats. And obviously for me, the meats have to be absolutely juicy, tender. The fat's got to be succulent and not all like chewing gum rubber. And in that way, when the meat and the fat taste so good, you don't have that obsession to go and snack on like carby stuff, or wanting to go back to keto omnivore because you don't feel like you have enough choices. Y'all need to learn how to cook. Then keto carnivore is like delish. Let's see here. Whatever you want to hear, but stating the truth facts about keto. Your realness. Oh, thank you. Sorry, the comments are going. I have to look back here. Thank you for sharing your experience and knowledge with us. Have you seen keto help much with mental issues? Oh, all day, honey. All day. Get on it now. The fat is mostly, the brain is mostly fat. Although my brain must be made out of carbs today because I keep loving my words. But since the brain is made out of mostly fat and there's cholesterol in the brain, when you start eating a ketogenic, keto omnivore or carnivore, high fat over 200 grams of fat, like so many people are like, I can focus, like my depression has gone down. People with schizophrenia, people who are bipolar, manic, you name it, amazing. And that's for those who are disciplined, who don't cheat and cycle and go back on ice cream and then do keto again, and people who really are serious about getting it done. Are you still located in LA? Yes, I live here. I missed it. Now it's going up. Are you still located in LA? Have you lived here in that way? Just started keto and intermittent fasting. Don't intermittent fast. That's just a bunch of junk and lies and, get you guys to be obsessed about your weight. Ever been able to eat fruit in the future other than berries? So I don't know who told you they can eat berries. Not on keto carnivore or keto omnivore can you eat a berry. Berries have been hybridized to have more fructose and be more sweet than what you'd find in nature. In nature, they taste like sour, like lemons, okay? So if you're eating berries and they're sweet, that's sugar. So whoever told you can eat berries on keto, they lie and they try to ching mix it. So with that said, the fruits that you can eat if you've got good GLUT4 receptors, so you can clear out the glucose, fruits like avocado, olives. Okay, you don't need GLUT4s for olives, maybe olives, but definitely not avocado because of the fat and fiber. You can have potentially lemon if you don't have a histamine response to it, or potentially tomato if you don't have a nightshade problem, and de-skin and de-seed the mother suckers because they crack you up. All right, let's see what we've got here. I'm just seeing what I missed. I love this simplicity of carnivore. Exactly, Michelle. Spectra says, thanks for the fantastic advice. Thank you. How do you know if keto is for you or not when your goal is general health? Because that's why. Keto is about general health, and people are obsessed with weight loss. Keto is weight loss. Now it's like my coworkers doing keto. I've been doing this stuff for so long. Y'all know if you go back to my other nasty, dumb, annoying, but still good at that time videos, where I'm like, energy. Those days, there wasn't a lot of information on keto, and no one talked about weight loss. Everybody talked about the health benefits, and then it became a trend, like every stupid weight loss diet, and everybody talks about it, and y'all think that you're doing intermittent fasting for autophagy. We know that you're doing it for weight loss. You can lose your muscle and your sex hormones and everything else. Men. So let's see here. Good morning from China. Hi, Jovi. What you doing in China? Found out last month that my antibody count is 600. Okay, now it goes away. I have thyroid and quit dairy, seafood, eggs. Why seafood? You need the iodine. Eggs, but wait. Unless you're not contextualizing your comment. But I'm struggling to find solid info on getting my numbers down. Okay, here's where you get solid info. And you have to think very, Jovi, nothing's black and white. That's the reason why when you go to other people, they don't actually coach people like I do. And if they do, they just started. So I started years ago coaching people on keto. Didn't know what I was doing and was putting people on the diet that I did. And that's the reason why I must never show what I eat in a day, because I realized people will just copy exactly what you do. And this woman copied exactly what I did and she got sick. So we're different in the levels of our metabolism and if it's ruined or not, our individual health. Okay, I'm trying to get to these questions. They're coming fast. Been strict for 2 weeks. Awesome. Do you recommend getting intolerance food test done? Yes. Is that helpful? Yes. How do you know if you're sensitive to avocados? Because you'll either, like you just have an aversion to it, you'll get mucusy, itchy, bloaty, farty, gassy, all this kind of weird. Now, the woman, Jovi, is talking about her thyroid. Lots of people have thyroid issues. They have Hashimoto's. They have hyper, or that's the 10th time, hyper or hypothyroidism. And many women are successful on keto. Your blood sugars are high because you have stress. I don't know if it's gut stress or chemical stress or sleep stress
or your personality stress, or you're working out late stress, but I would need to know more, which is why y'all should sign up for my course, ketostepperson.com, or just literally sign up for a consultation. And then when I actually speak to you guys and really sit down, I can do the deep dive and figure out what's going on. Is coffee butter wise, or should I just drink black? You should drink, why would you drink coffee? That's nasty, kill you. Oh, weird, it got dark. Oh, no, anyway. No, it didn't, never mind.
All the lights are on.
But no one's home. He's like, all the lights are on. You guys, I don't know. Most people are like, what's wrong with coffee? And I'm like, have you ever tried to quit it? And they'll say like, well, yeah, like once. You guys intuitively know that this is a processed food it has a lot of anti-nutrients. It's a freaking diuretic. It's affecting your L-tyrosine. People who are mineral deficient, who don't have vitamin D, why are you drinking coffee? You're just losing more D. There's a lot of reasons why people shouldn't do coffee. I don't know why those idiots out there still keep promoting it. Let me see. How do you know if you're sensitive? Okay, I read that. Is coffee better? Okay, read that. So no coffee. If you're doing keto omnivore, you can do an herbal tea, but get rid of the caffeine. It stimulates the adrenals to crank up and go through gluconeogenesis, raise the cortisol, adrenaline, break down amino acids, blood sugar starts rising. And when there's too much blood sugar in the stream, the body just wants to go back to the crack that it knows, okay? So we try to do everything to get people into ketosis because you can't do it in a lazy way. You want to adapt it. Like this woman's like, my menstrual cycle's all screwed up from this stuff. I need to drink some water. And believe it or not, I brought some red men's real salt and put it in the water to keep myself on a hot day in Cali, my electrolytes in, because I'm learning. Is coffee shown to be healthy in some observational studies? Baloney, Robert. Baloney. Like, you have to be careful, Robert, because they don't, like these studies, I realized with studies, they have to be blatantly, like, very clear. Because every single person is different. If you took 20 people in a study, right, that were similar to me, they'd have to be like 20 Stephanies with similar issues, with similar type of, like, genetic profile. And then with a similar way of thinking, how you deal with stress. Then when you put them on these studies, and we've got the placebo group and we've got this group, then you have objective people. And this is what I've realized off of keto. People don't know, and they'll give advice. They'll be like, yes, you should do intermittent fasting because you can go through cellular cleanup and autophagy. And then they'll be like, somebody will go like, well, how do you measure that? And they'll be like, well, we really don't know that yet. Well, how do you know you're experiencing autophagy? Well, we're just guessing. So coffee does, like, people who've got issues and need a vasodilator in certain very rare cases would the caffeine be warranted, but the general person drinks coffee because they have a limit of energy, okay? And if you've got adrenal issues, which most of you do, if you have mycotoxin issues and candida, which most of you do, why would it be beneficial? You don't have the answer for that. If you have a freaking leaky gut, why would you drink coffee? Let me see your cup. Let me see your cup. No, nobody drinks coffee for the taste. It's actually a signal that your cells who have different generations, sister cell, daughter cell generation, become addicted to that adrenal response. Even though you don't feel it anymore, you don't feel the coffee high, the cells are telling the brain, ooh, the taste, the aroma, the fixing of it. Because if they like the routine of making a hot drink, then make a herbal tea. So yes, it's addiction.
Have you tried Greek coffee?
I've never tried Greek coffee. How do you say Greece in Greek again?
Ελληνικό.
What is it?
Ελληνικό καφέ.
Ελληνικό café.
That's Greek coffee.
Greek. All right. So let me see. I agree, Stephanie. It's the worst thing in the world. I hate coffee. And here's the thing, Robert. Because I've talked to like 3,000 people over the last, well, really about 7-8 years. But if I really expand it, it's about 10 years to when I really first started just working with people, not just coaching on the internet. And out of all these people, most people have problems with coffee. So do I need a study, a subjective study to prove this nonsense? They also prove that veganism is good for you. You know, that you can get enough protein. I'll watch these vegan channels. I'm like, you get enough protein from plants. Right, okay. So anybody can say anything. Okay, Robert said, I drink it for the taste. You drink it because, like, you got a little, need a little caffeine rush. You have a good point, Stephanie, although I think as long as you are not addicted to, everybody's addicted to it, forget that. I mean, if people, dopamine reward response, you drink it a rare time. But Robert, who does that? I mean, we're living in a coffee world. Y'all know I travel all over the world. People are pounding that stuff. Otherwise, they're like this. I can't function without it. People are like, I only drink 1 cup. I only drink a half a cup. I'm like, yo, get rid of it. What's up? If I drank a cup of coffee, all of the Candida albicans spores that I've lowered would explode. 1 cup. Okay. So all yeasty people with your coffee. Okay, how long do you heat bone broth to make sure you get all of the benefits? So, Deborah, I don't really promote bone broth anymore because so many people with leaky gut, which so much of you have, react to the protein called glutamate. So people get headaches or they get really tired after eating bone broth. Now, you can eat bone broth, but you're going to get more health benefits from liver than bone broth. Just saying. Or blood. Cow's blood. Great source of protein and minerals. What? Anyway, what you looking at?
I have a nice video.
You have a nice video? Okay.
Yeah. That video.
Okay.
About Greek coffee.
Okay. He wants to show us how Greek coffee is made. And anyway, when I was making a lot of bone broth, I cooked mine for 30 hours to really, really break down. You're trying to get access to the marrow, right? Especially if you're using beef bones. They're thick, they're dense, they're hard. And so you would slow cook it under very low temperatures in water or in a crock pot for hours. What you're opening about high meat now? Opening? You mean my opinion? You said opening. Elena, you're confusing me.
Probably opinion.
I know, I'm just playing. I made high meat and I kept forgetting to open up the jar. So it's just, today I looked at it, I was like, oh, here's my 1-year high meat. I would not touch that thing. I'd probably die tomorrow because I didn't let enough air into it. I know, I'm kidding, Elena. I think it's great. I think for people say that it's really great to help repopulate and get gut flora. Now, these are all theories, because people haven't been trending on the high meat. It was really, really talked about 2 years ago or a year ago, and now it's not spoken about as much. I don't know. I made it, I was gonna eat it, and I was like, okay, if I eat that without enough air getting to it, I'm going to get sick, so I didn't touch it. What are your thoughts on paleo? I think paleo is a trend just like keto has become. It's like dumb in one way. I mean, it's better than the standard American diet, but people are like pounding the dates and the dried fruit, and then there's paleo products, and then it's called paleo, and it doesn't make any sense. The paleo should be completely from the earth and not in packages. I think that a lot of people start to have issues on paleo because they're eating foods that they say, oh, this is paleo diet. So you could have like sweet potato and you could have dried fruit, and then people might have a sensitivity to sweet potato or the dried fruit, and then they go ham on it, and then they don't actually fix themselves. But better than the standard American diet? Oh yeah, definitely. What made you decide to do the Keto Carnivore versus the regular keto? Well, Wigs in Wine Lounge, I've done keto omnivore, standard keto with plants for freaking years. For 11 years I'd done it. Like, okay, I know this. When this new thing is coming up and I thought it was ridiculous and people were talking about it, I was like, oh my God, that sounds stupid. Why would you do that? Like, you can't just eat meat and fat, or the inverse, fat and meat. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try this thing. And then you guys know I've spoke about, like, I was getting bitten by freaking cockroach infestation. We have a lot of cockroaches in California, don't trip out. And if somebody over there in the apartment over unit over there and is not clean, they will through your whole apartment. And they bite. But the bites on my body, and all insect bites, bees, cockroaches, would go from really small, what it used to be, to super big. And I went, oh, I have histamine intolerance. The mast cells are producing histamine and there's nothing to get the swelling down. There's not enough diamine oxidase. Now that typically comes from leaky gut. Can I say that I have some form of leaky gut? Definitely, definitely, because you can't just do keto and it heals. Because what if I keep eating a food that my body doesn't agree with and keeps those gap junctions, those holes in my small intestine wide? And I'm like, oh, but it's keto, so it's okay. No. So I'm going to cut out the plants and going carnivore and then rotating schedule, real nice rotating schedule to see if the insect bites would go down. And as you guys can see, they've gone down. I had really bad bites here. You can still see a dark pigmentation right there. It was a big, it looked like I had a bruise because I had like 3 bites here and they exploded in inflammation. So yes, and that's when I started talking to, I just lied. That's when I ordered the thymus and kidney on Amazon. And I was like, what's the best desiccated grass-fed, blah, 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 because kidney and thymus are really great for DAO production to deal with the inflammation. Hi, Larry. And Deborah saying, I did paleo before going keto, but frequently binged because I wasn't eating enough fat. Thank you, Deborah. Forgot to say that. People aren't eating enough fat and their carbs are too low, and then they start having the thyroid and the sex hormone, and then your, testosterone starts going down. Enough fat, then went keto, up the fat, and haven't binged or refed or cheated in 996 days. And that, y'all, is freaking music to my ears, because Deborah ain't playing. Like when she makes her commitment, that's the biggest problem with all these diets. People do it to lose weight, and then they do it wrong, and then they lose a bunch of weight at first, and their blood sugar looks better for a minute, and then they binge because there's a stressful event or I'm at a party, and I don't want to feel like I'm missing out on something, and then they start binging back on those foods, and then it was the last thing that they did. But Deborah stuck with it. And I was talking about something I forgot. You guys are going to get pissed because I can't remember. You're all over the place. You don't give it. Y'all don't know what it's like to be standing here like this. Okay? When you guys can go and do what I did and show me how to do it better, I will completely be enamored and listen. Okay? Without a whiteboard. So I use coffee as a pre-workout for my early morning training. What's the alternative then? Your body. Look, you guys, I'm 52. Officially, I am 52 years of age. 50 freaking 2. All right? 52. Full natty. And having your body be able to access the fat for energy means that roller coaster ride of blood sugar dysregulation begins to get into this homeostatic balance. And what that does is when you work out, because y'all know I love to work out, what that does is stabilize your energy so you never crash. You can lift. I do rounds of pull-ups. Y'all know in my gym, I do strict pull-ups like this, 10 sets of them. I could be at the gym for 4 hours and never crash. Where all these people on pre-workouts, they're like, oh, don't talk to me. It's going to wear off in 20 minutes. I got to get going. I got to get my pump on. Well, I got to pump directly right away. $52 the business. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. He's like, mother sucking. Yeah, I mention it all the time because obviously people think that I'm younger than what I am. And so I remind people so they get... Like, it's really weird having to mention your age. Thank you, Carol. It's weird having to mention your age because we really shouldn't have to. You get judged for being, like, if people think that I'm younger, and I do consultations with people older and they think I'm younger, they're like, okay, well, she's young and she's fit and she doesn't know what it's like to go through all of this and that. And then you have people who are younger that if they think that I'm their age, they are connecting with me. And then as soon as I go, if a guy's talking to me and he's 22 and I'm freaking 52 and I'm 30 years older and they think that I'm just 10 years older, then I'm like, could be your mama. And they're like, oh. And then if I see them 5 more times, they completely forget, which is what I like. Okay, putting your bare feet on earth and using grounding equipment, which is great. Not even kidding. Okay, got to see here. Grass-fed, I'm missing this comment. Let me see. Does it matter what type of grass-fed meat we choose? How about bison or elk? Elk is a bit too lean. Bison, if you get fatty cuts, especially if it's the ground beef-ish. Bison.
Bison.
Ground bison. Yeah, cow beef is probably the best. Maybe not in terms of taste. For some people it is or not.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
What if we buy elk and we substitute the fat
No.
with butter?
No.
No.
No, a lot of people try to do that. They try to do like chicken breast with butter, or they'll try to do like fish, like white fish with butter. And isn't that gonna work? And I'm like, nah, because
Tasty though.
I mean it could be. You know, some people don't like elk. It's a little gamey, a little weird taste. But trying to first of all, chicken breast is just. I mean, I'm like looking over there. I've eaten chicken breast for so many years that, like, if you're really, really hungry and it's prepared all a certain way and it's tender and they make it juicy and it's spiced, you could be like, oh, this tastes good. But if it's just chicken breast frozen and you like trying to prep your food, it's nasty. It's So Beta, sorry, Beta ain't working. Beta trying to make some troll comments. Trolls really behoove me. What lonely people, right? Lonely people need attention. Oh, somebody's trying to make a, you know, his name there is, do you see his name?
No.
Oh, so you're not there. Stupid name, so I know he's making a stupid comment. But I have my troll slayer in the house. Okay, do we have more questions going on here? Do you agree, lemons? Do you agree? Do I approve? Lemons are really great in one way. They have plant pectins in them that really help to kind of like clear out some of that estrogen that builds up in everybody, not just women. It's really great for the liver. But the caveat is that a lot of people have sensitivity to lemons and they don't know it. Histamine response. Okay, you are right. I crush very bad. Oh, you crash very. You guys see, I'm not the only one flubbing my words. You guys are flubbing your writing. So I feel like we group together. He said you crash very. He wrote crush. You crash very badly after a workout. So coffee is the reason. Thank you. Oh, awesome. Farouz.
It's not only the coffee. It's because it's depleting fast the workout, the pre-workout. So you
Yeah.
still have the pre-workout
Yeah.
because you're still producing ketones, but he is depleted.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about elk?
Didn't I say that? I think I said that. Okay. What about elk velvet supplements? Why would you need that? I'm not sure, Larry. For what? And like, what's in the supplement? Are you doing certain like organs or like? I'm confused. I love that. You guys notice that when I do lives from my phone, I'm going like this and then like this and then like this. Whereas now, my awesome tech guy has it so I can see everything and I can actually read. People think like, you can't read. Oh, yes, I can read. If I can't see the dang text on a phone that's that big. Okay, so Danny says, how long does the keto diet take to work when you started? And does it allow any types of sugar? I mean, can fruit still be eaten? No, Danny, the problem is that we have Frankensteined our food. So if you had a really sour, bitter berry, yes, potentially, especially if you had good GLUT4 receptor development to clear out glucose, but most of you don't. Some younger guys do, some very fit women do. The sweeter the berry, the more you can adapt. Or the sweeter the berry, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, something like that. But I'm not talking about dark berries. Just me. No, you can't. You gotta let things go to fix the body. And I always tell people, like, I'm in my 50s. Somebody was commenting on an old video where I was like, everyone's like, well, we want to see what you look like before. So I found like a picture of me at 35, right? I'm 52 now. And I was 15 pounds lighter. I was skinnier. I had like, everything was like, there was no like, it was all gone. Like, I was flatter than this. There was nothing. And I looked older at 34. 100% older. And as I've gotten actually older in years, staying on a really clean diet and having the energy, and like my hip was bothering me, my knee was bothering me because of all the surgeries, and my inflammatory markers were high, my C-reactive protein was high. Then when I went keto, everything cooled down. And like the guy was asking about working out on no coffee, like I was able to work out like this because I've been working out since I was 29. And I was like, in a gym. And I was like, my energy went up. I didn't crash anymore in the afternoon. I wasn't like binging and just eating weird stuff and sugar addicted like before. And then I was like, wow, like this, everyone needs to know about this, which is why I started vlogging. That's the 11th one. I started vlogging, and I'd done research. Obviously, a lot of you guys know the story about my mom, that she had a glioblastoma, and I was trying to find a anti-cancer growing like crazy kill you therapy, and I found keto, and voila. And I'll never say that keto did it because my brother and I did a ton of stuff, but I will say that somehow she's still alive after having stage 4 terminal cancer glioblastoma.
I have a question over here that is being asked twice.
Okay, thank you.
Deborah Bermudez.
Thank you.
I get constipated when I eat steak. I make like rare.
Okay.
I remember you saying it could be low stomach acid.
Yes.
When I take ACV, it's apple cider vinegar, to help my stomach acid, I get acid reflux.
Yes. Okay.
What can I do?
Okay, great comment. So, like lemons, apple cider vinegar is also can be very, very, let's say, a histamine reactionary response. Basically, you're having an allergic response to it. If you have no type of leaky gut wall impairment, then you could potentially eat apple cider vinegar and it'll actually help you to break down your food better. But in your case, I think you're having, and this is just a guess, it sounds like you could be having an inflammatory response to the apple cider vinegar. You're not becoming constipated because you do carnivore. It's because you have issues with the gut biome here. Right there, all the gut bacteria is messed up. So then when you do carnivore without the fiber, so you're using fiber to swell your colon with water and so you can poop. But without the fiber, then you're going to really need to up your fat. People keep thinking that carnivore, and it really should be keto carnivore. That's the 12th time. I'm counting them. Yes, I am. It really should be a high fat diet. Fat is going to lubricate those pipes. And if you really need some fiber, you can eat tendons. You can grind down bone, which is going to be fibrous, like with a pill grinder. Sprinkle on your food. Tendons, cartilage, the gristle, all of that is fiber. If you need to really freaking have your colon swell and bind to poop, take it out. Okay, how many days a week do you exercise, and how many hours per day? What? See, I'm not the only one who's flubbing words. Okay, what do you suggest for a beginner? So Danny, my schedule is completely built around me needing to get away from the freaking computer. I work from home, so I am definitely infinitely behind on a lot of things and projects that I need to do because I need to get away from my computer. I have a freak out moment and I jump to the gym. So if I could jump to the gym every day, I would. But when I go to the gym, then my whole day is gone. So I only go 6 days a week. I do not work out to build any more muscle. I don't work out to get lean. I work out to make me not go cuckoo in Los Angeles. I go very slow. So my hours, if I really don't have time, it's just an hour. If I have a lot of time at the gym, I will be there 3 hours. I'll foam roll, I'll breathe, do diaphragmatic breathing, I'll stretch. I will do handstands. I'll try to strengthen my calisthenic exercises, and then I'll lift. So 6 days a week from an hour to 3 hours. What do you suggest for a beginner? If you're doing keto, you have to ramp down your workouts because we don't want cortisol to take over your keto adaptation. And that's what I suggest for people to do: time under tension, full body circuit. Get their stress down. Don't work out at night. when everything goes down, use a glucometer, test your blood sugar post-workout. When everything starts to cool off, then you can start to push your workouts and work heavier, and definitely no cardio. I mean, just to warm up. Unless you're an endurance athlete, that's another thing. I make my own roasted pork belly bites in the oven. So good, right? No, I have not tried your pork belly bites. I've tried my pork belly fries and the pork belly that I made yesterday, which was, I wanted it to be really juicy and tender. Breakfast too. See, I'm not the only one loving how to write stuff. She wrote Brickfest. But anyway, I still haven't lost any weight eating primarily meat. I haven't gained any weight. It's because, y'all, it's about your hormones. If you're not losing weight, it's because your insulin and your blood sugar and your leptin or your thyroid are prohibiting you from adapting, or your blood sugar's all over the place, or you sleep crappy, because a lot of people don't realize one night of bad sleep makes you insulin resistant, and when your insulin's not working, you ain't losing no weight. You lose muscle, you lose water, you ain't losing the fat. You can look, I don't care if you're 20 pounds lighter, you skinny fat. And a lot of people are, I'll be like, they're like, oh, I used to weigh this, and then now I'm that, and I'll be like, can you, like with women, or everybody in my consultations, if I'm like, let me see, if they're sitting and I only see them here up, I'll go, let me see your stomach. And I'll be like, okay, this is the body fat that it looks like. This is what's going on. You know, okay, is there any danger from eating 150, 200 grams of animal fat for our kidney, liver? No. Not based on any of my experience thus far. And I've worked with people with kidney disease. No. Now, people question if you can adapt with liver issues, because ketones are made in the liver. It could slow it down, but it could also help your liver disease, especially if you guys are taking pharmaceuticals, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, oxalates, everything that, and oxalates on the kidneys. I don't call my things pork bites. I call them pork belly fries. And I do salt rub, oil, salt rub, cut it into strips, oil, salt, rub, put it in the oven. Okay.
What has a nice question?
What's that?
What is the easiest way to gain 10 pounds on keto? I'm trying to fine tune my body with muscles. I don't need to be any thinner. Thanks.
Okay. So thin is subjective. Like, people, when they're saying I don't want to be thinner, they're not saying I want more body fat. They want to keep their body fat low and increase the muscle size. The best way to gain muscle weight, because that's, we have to clarify, is to become very insulin sensitive. See, insulin is a hormone that does a couple things. One of it is that it can take the protein that you eat, the amino acids, and deliver it into the muscle cells so they can get repaired and grown, so forth, which is going to increase your muscle size. It's also a hormone that can store fat. So essentially, if your insulin is low and you're not pumping out bolus amounts of insulin, then you're having tiny amounts of insulin that do a big job, which means that, that's the 12th, which means that you absolutely, maybe because the air is like cranked up in here and I'm starting to get a little cold. I know it's oscillating. I know. You know what it is? Because there's a vent and it's just crossing me and I get like this and then I'm talking. The easiest way to gain 10 pounds on keto, I'm trying to find, okay. So 10 pounds, you have to be clear. Do you want to gain muscle, water, fat? I assume muscle. Well, no one's going to gain 10 pounds of muscle without sleeping well, good lifting program, having your sex hormones be like, right, adrenal safety. That's how you gain 10 pounds over amount of months, by being insulin sensitive and having your reproductive hormones and all your hormones in balance and getting really, really good sleep and knowing how to lift properly. And in adapting, obviously using ketones, that makes you insulin sensitive. I started eating strict keto for 2 weeks and my night sweats are really bad. Will this change? Yes, Michelle Young, you're doing it wrong. And I hate when vegans say that, but it's because I don't know how to explain it all in like a live stream. Basically, night sweats are activated by your adrenals, right? So with night sweats, anything that's like temperature or stress
or your blood sugars like this at night will flash, make you flash, make you flash, make you flash. So really, like, are you eating enough? Are you hypoglycemic? Do you have an underlying hypoglycemia that you're not aware of? And then, you know, you do keto, you don't adapt, and the body's like, I need gasoline. Okay, let's go into the muscle factory, tear apart muscle, and that'll make your blood sugar go crazy, make your adrenals really freak out, and you start flashing more. So it's about getting really good sleep, going to bed extra early, learning how to diaphragmatic breathe, meditate, work out the right way, the right time, food timing, connect to circadian rhythm, don't have a screen in your face. All of these things affect the adrenals. And that's what makes you flash more. That's my advice. So everything of don't do is the opposite do. Like go to bed earlier, get some blue light blocking glasses, get enough fat, because if your fat's too low, then there's not enough ability to make ketones, because the body doesn't start making ketones out of your body fat right away. It takes the diet. That's why it's a high fat diet. Is you eat fat, your body learns how to, like everybody's like, how am I going to lose weight if I'm eating high fat? I'm like, are you on the keto diet? Because I'm sorry, we ain't doing Atkins here. This is not Atkins. Keto's a high fat diet. Don't forget that, you guys, not a high protein diet. You're kind of breaking my heart because I put 2 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter and 2 tablespoons of brain octane. Yeah, total wasted. Gene, get rid of it. You're not, if you're trying to heal your body, process, the less processed, MCT is processed, coffee is processed, and they have reasons why, get rid of it. The less processed, the better. That's why I love carnivore. It's just like simple, no processed anything.
But Jane, I feel you, brother.
Gene. Sounds like it's a gym. No. Gene, yeah, because he's got his coffee. I walked in, I was like, okay, you sipping on that coffee all day long? Greek guy said, no, he's not doing keto. I tried to get him on keto, but, you know. Let's see here. Butter and MCT, okay. No, butter's okay. MCT is just, it's a waste of money. It's so expensive. Oh, it's so good for your brain. No, my mom has a brain injury. She does better on coconut oil for brain injury for the lauric acid benefits, which MCT oil is devoid of. I need to finish. It's getting late. Dang, I want to go home and I ride my bike. I don't want to go home in the dark. Okay, Steph, do you realize it's 9 p.m. on the East? How can I miss out on a live stream? I know. Travis Cruz, I come here so late. When I stream from hey, Travis, I streamed from my apartment this morning when it was like 1 o'clock your time or 2. So you guys push the notification bell. We're trying to figure out why people subscribe and push the bell, because a lot of people aren't getting, how many people are in this chat? I can't even see.
Smash that like button. Smash that like button.
Smash the like button. The Greek guy says, coconut oil is not ketogenic. That's for my mom for brain injury from the glioblastoma and the surgery. So no, it's not ketogenic. Any thoughts on raw carnivore? Yes, I did raw for probably about 3 months. And I was like, okay, I did it, you know. So I said this, I think yesterday, Sunday, on 2 lives about eating raw, that if it's beef, all day. And the leaner the cut, the better, because then the meat is very soft. You know, raw fat on, getting dry throat, on a ribeye is it's kind of chewy. So like a leaner cut, but like chicken, I'm not eating that raw. Not pork, nope, it's hard to get past with pork. And eggs raw, sure, but not the other 2 meats. Nope, no pork and no pork and what did I just say? Chicken. Let's see here. Since going carnivore 3 months ago, I started. You guys join my carnivore challenge. Go to stephanieperson.com and sign up for my carnivore challenge. It's a 2-week challenge that starts on the 25th. It's $15, which that's nothing. But after the challenge ends, you're going to be on my keto course page another 2 weeks, unless you decide to cancel your subscription to the whole thing. No, yeah, Amanda, coconut oil is not ketogenic whatsoever, and I know that because I've worked with it. I have old videos pushing coconut oil and MCT oil, and it like people are getting diarrhea on it. They weren't adapting on it at all. When I switched everybody to animal fat, boom, the ketones went up like that. It's amazing. So I don't need to listen to anybody else. I got all y'all people, my crew, to tell me the answer.
By the way, about the diarrhea on MCT oil,
it's true. It's true.
We're talking about 2 hours in the bathroom.
Exactly. So a lot of you guys have a difficult time to break down the caprylic acid. So if your body's under stress or not, it's like forget it. And I think that should be it, right? Eureka, how long have I been talking for?
It's 1 hour, 5 minutes.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Deborah's reminding you to sign up for my keto course or to join the Keto Carnivore Challenge, which is going to be amazing. Go to stephanieperson.com. I have no problem with MCT oil. Yeah, you don't have a problem with it. Neither do I. I could eat buckets of it, but it doesn't put you in ketosis, honey child, and it's a waste of money. Better to just eat coconut oil, which is 10 times cheaper. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, everybody, for joining the chat, of course. Thank you, Deborah. Without Deborah was slaying some probably nasty ass comments. Yes, and what else? Yes, I have consultations. And my Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic, and my Facebook is Stephanie the Business Person. Enough promoting all the social media annoying platforms that I'm on. Hearts. All right, guys, time to go. Until next time, I did 3 uploads. I know, not 3 uploads. Yeah, 3 uploads today. Maybe I should private this one and leak it tomorrow. What do you think?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fine. Kids still gain weight. I tried eggs, avocado breakfast, tuna, salad. None of this is really keto except for the avocado. Danny, none of this is keto. You said strictly keto? Tuna? No. Salad? No. I don't know what vegetables you ate. Tomato, nightshade? No. Of course no weight change. You're like, your body's getting irritated off all those food choices.
Oh.
Prolonged fat. Huh?
Haida. What that means?
No. Haida. Get you. Hey, Matthias. Hurleget. Han säger tack och hejdå, which means goodbye. Trust me, when I went to Sweden, I couldn't read anything because they have like 3 extra letters to the alphabet. I was like, what's that dot over the A? It's O. Hejdå.
And on that bombshell,
Wait.
thank you very much.
No, wait. Let me just switch 2 more questions. Prolonged fasting, deep ketosis. No. I know why people think you're in deep ketosis. You're not. You produce ketones, and because your blood sugar gets dysregulated, you squirt them out your booty. No. Okay? Fasting does not make prolonged ketosis. The keto diet, who told you that it's a high-fat diet? Your body doesn't know how to use those ketones that you're producing. Anybody eating carbs can make ketones by just not eating for a day. But the brain's like, I don't know how to use it. You have to retrain your brain to learn how to use the ketones so you can be highly adapted. So there's no prolonged keto thing going on, chat. Yeah. Tack, Mattias. Jag älskar mina svenska vänner från Sverige. Vi hörs till nästa gång. So coconut oil is not good because it kicks you out of ketosis. It doesn't kick you out of ketosis. It does spike. It does, with some people can't break it down. It just doesn't put you in ketosis, and I'm spitting. Deborah's reminding you, and she's writing what my website looks like, stephanieperson.com, for the challenge, for the course, and for meal plans. I still need to finish the rest and update them. What I'm doing wrong if I get dry skin and ice. That is a mucin deficiency. It could be from vitamin A deficiency. Try liver all day. Liver all day. Okay? You learn that on the Carnivore Challenge. Sign up. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Energy.